do I call you?
A sharer of gifts. Our work begins now.
I'm Grant from Screen Rant. It's great to see you both again and talk about this excellent new chapter in this already amazing show. I've seen the first 3 episodes and I love what's happening so far. Charles, I'd actually like to turn to you first because in this season, we see you really start to come under the sway of Sauron, obviously disguised. And I'd love to hear what you think it is about or why you think it is he is more easily swayed than some of the other characters in this show.
I think he was captivated, which I think is a pretty accurate way of putting it, but in the Forge in season 1, when Halbrand suggested what many people thought was such an obvious solution, I think that's all part of his bewitchment. I think Celebrimbor is bewitched from the moment Halbrand enters his life, and that's Sauron's initial spell, I think. In terms of the season 2, Annatar presents himself in an extraordinary coup de théâtre, walking out of the flame, declaring he is a god, he is a Maya, he is going to enrich my life in every way possible. I would question that was being gullible. If you're gonna be presented with something so extraordinarily religious and transcendent, and a highly heightened magical moment, you pay it heed.
You would listen.
You give it the time of day. So I've never had a moment where I felt that Celebrimbor was being gullible or slow or daft. He is none of those things. He is susceptible to flattery, and his ambition is a problem, and his pride is certainly a problem, but not gullible. As the season progresses, other things come into play, but I think when you're presented with that, I think you go with it.
And so, Charlie, I'd love to turn to you next because I love that we see you as both Halbrand and Annatar. And I love, though, that as Halbrand, we see that obviously you have the veil down now and people know who you are. What is it like sort of balancing that sort of knowing mind game for the audience as well as keeping that hidden from other characters?
I think it's a great question. I think it is all a matter of perspective. I think particularly when I'm playing the Halbrand character, there's obvious differences in the sense that I've lived with this character for now 5 years, and everything is quite deeply embedded. But the moments, I'm still playing Halbrand the same. It's just now the audience, because of the storytelling, is in on it with me. So I don't really need to think about letting the audience in. I'm just playing it the same way, but this time the camera tells the story in a different way. It's positioned differently. It holds, or it comes in a different way. In like a moment that I would play in the first season compared to the second season could be viewed completely differently, even though if I'm doing the same thing, just because of the perspective that the audience has.
It's a really interesting change in that perspective, and I can't wait to see how that progresses. And I did want to talk on Annatar as well really quickly before I let you go. What was sort of your first reaction when you saw what the design was going to be for your character, and then when you saw yourself in the full prosthetics, wig, and costume?
It's incredibly exciting. I mean, I was very excited by the prospect of transformation. That's the thing that makes me most excited about acting, and I loved developing it, and wearing it for the first time was awesome. It was actually the first day I wore it was the day when I come out of the Forge. We're really lucky to do this chronologically.
Yeah.
And that was really, really fun and really special, and it was kind of trippy, it was cool.
It's a really trippy experience watching it as well. And I can't wait to see how this sort of evolves, because it really is one of the most captivating dynamics so far. So thank you guys both so much for taking the time. I greatly appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
This is hardly a gift. What have you done to me?
What have you done to me?
Who are you, truly? I am the one keeping the storm at bay.